Working in tech, especially at the senior level, you see some wild stuff. But nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to the story I'm about to tell you. It's a tale of arrogance, betrayal, and the sweetest, most expensive revenge you can possibly imagine. It all started when I was the head of engineering at a rapidly growing fintech company. I was making a cool $420,000 a year, and honestly, I earned every single penny. My team and I had built the company's core platform from the ground up. We're talking about a system that processed billions of dollars in transactions, was incredibly secure, and was the envy of our competitors. Life was good. I loved my job, I loved my team, and we were crushing it. Then, everything changed. The board decided we needed to level up and brought in a new chief technology officer, a guy we'll call Mark. Mark came from one of those giant, faceless tech corporations. He walked in on his first day with this smug, "I'm smarter than all of you" attitude. He had this slicked-back hair and wore suits that were way too expensive for a tech office. The first time he met my team, he barely made eye contact. He just walked around, nodding, like a king surveying his less-than-impressive kingdom. I tried to be optimistic. Change can be good, right? Maybe he'd bring a new perspective. Boy, was I wrong. The first red flag came during our very first one-on-one meeting. I was walking him through our architecture, the intricate systems we'd built, the challenges we'd overcome. He just sat there tapping his pen, a bored look on his face. When I finished, he leaned back in his chair and said, "It's cute. A good start for a small-time operation." I was stunned. A good start. We were processing more volume than some national banks, but I kept my cool. I said, "Well, it's scalable, secure, and has a 99.999% uptime. I'm proud of what my team has accomplished." He just smirked. The real bombshell dropped a few days later in a leadership meeting. We were reviewing departmental budgets, and my salary came up. Mark looked at the number, did a double take, and then actually laughed out loud. In front of the CEO, the CFO, everyone. He said, "420,000 for this? Back at my old company, we paid half that for engineers who ran circles around this setup." The room went silent. I felt my face get hot. It wasn't just the insult, it was the public humiliation. The CEO, a guy I'd worked with for years, just shifted uncomfortably in his seat and said nothing. In that moment, I knew my time at the company was limited. Mark was here to clean house, and I was his first target. Over the next few weeks, Mark made my life a living hell. He'd micromanage my team, question every decision, and publicly criticize our work. He started bringing in his own people, guys from his old company who were yes men. They'd nod at every dumb idea he had, ideas that would have compromised our system's security and stability. I spent most of my days putting out fires he started. The morale of my team, once sky-high, plummeted. My best engineers started updating their resumes. The writing was on the wall, in big, bold, arrogant letters. He was trying to push me out. I could have just quit. I had offers from other companies, but something inside me snapped. It was the disrespect. The years of hard work, the nights and weekends I'd poured into building this platform, all dismissed with a condescending laugh. I wasn't going to just walk away. I was going to make him, and the company that let him do this, pay. And that's when I remembered it. The clause. The beautiful, forgotten, ticking time bomb of a clause in my employment contract. See, when I first joined the company years ago, it was still a bit of a startup. They couldn't offer me a massive salary initially, so to sweeten the deal, they gave me a very generous equity package. But I was smart. I'd been burned before. So I had my lawyer add a very specific, very unusual clause. It was an acceleration clause tied to a change of control, or a significant alteration of my role or duties without my consent. Basically, if they fired me without cause, or demoted me, or fundamentally changed my job, like say having a new boss who undermined me at every turn and tried to force me out, all of my unvested stock options would vest immediately. All of them. At the time, it was just a safety net. The company was small and the stock was worth pennies, but now, after years of explosive growth, a growth that I was instrumental in creating, those stock options were worth a fortune. I checked the company's latest valuation. My jaw dropped. The clause I'd insisted on all those years ago was now my secret weapon. It was time to spring the trap. So I started documenting everything. Every snide comment from Mark, every email where he overruled a critical technical decision, every instance of him creating a hostile work environment. I built a mountain of evidence. I continued to do my job to the best of my ability, but I made sure every interaction with Mark was on the record. He was so arrogant, he didn't even notice. He just thought he was winning, pushing the old guard out to make way for his new regime. The day finally came. Mark called me into his office. The CEO was there too, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else on Earth. Mark didn't even beat around the bush. He said, "Look, it's clear this isn't a good fit anymore. We're moving in a new direction. We're restructuring the engineering department, and your role as head of engineering is being eliminated." He slid a severance agreement across the table. It was pathetic. A few weeks' pay, a slap in the face. I looked at the paper, then I looked at Mark, and I smiled. A genuine, happy smile. He looked confused. "Is something funny?" he asked. I said, "No, not at all. This is perfect." I pushed the severance agreement back to him. "I won't be needing this," I said, "but I will be needing a copy of my original employment contract. I believe you'll find Section 4, Subsection B, very interesting." The CEO's face went pale. He knew. He remembered the negotiation from all those years ago. Mark just looked bewildered. The company's lawyer was called in. They huddled in a corner, whispering, frantically reading the document. I just sat there, enjoying the show. The color drained from Mark's face as the lawyer explained the situation to him. The significant alteration of my duties was undeniable. My firing was the trigger. All my stock options vested, immediately. And the value? Based on the last round of funding and the current valuation of the company, my newly vested stock options were worth a staggering $165 million. $165 million. The silence in that room was deafening. You could hear a pin drop. Mark, the slick CTO who laughed at my $420,000 salary, had just single-handedly cost the company a fortune. He'd been brought in to save money, to streamline things. Instead, his ego had just approved the single largest payout in the company's history, to me. The aftermath was glorious. The board was furious. The investors went ballistic. An emergency meeting was called. Guess who was the first person to be fired? Yep. Mark. He was escorted out of the building that very same day, his new direction turning into a very short walk to the parking lot. The CEO kept his job, but his authority was shattered. As for me, I cashed out a portion of my shares and walked away a very, very wealthy man. But it was never just about the money. It was about respect. It was about standing up for your worth. Mark thought he could bully his way to the top, but he forgot to read the fine print. His arrogance cost him his job and cost the company a sum of money they are probably still reeling from. So, let this be a lesson. Always know your worth. Always read your contracts. And never, ever let an arrogant fool get the best of you. Sometimes the best revenge is the one that's written in black and white. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little tale of corporate justice. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories. See you in the next one.